I mentioned Rob Thomson earlier. I feel like Rob Thomson, again, has just given this game back to the players. Instead of trying to maybe micromanage a little bit, he's allowed these players to really take the reins as the leaders. All right, he's allowed a guy like Castellanos try to coach up the young guys. He's allowed Bryce Harper to really let his personality loom over this clubhouse, and ultimately, I think that's what they really needed. It's not so much that Joe Girardi was some terrible manager. I think it was just maybe he was a little too hands-on. I'm Joe Girardi. I got to justify my name type of thing. And look, the guy's been a winner throughout his career. Good for him. But for whatever reason, it just wasn't the right fit here in Philadelphia. I think the players needed to take more accountability and more ownership of their actions, and that's what they have done. Rob Thomson, I thought, set the perfect message to this Phillies ball club before this game, and here's what Rob Thomson had to say.
I talked to the guys before the game about we need to start winning games in our division. It's big, you know. We've beat some teams that, you know, LA was kind of scuffling at the time, and we fed off of that and beat a first-place team in Milwaukee. And I said, you know, we got to start winning some games within our division. That's what good teams do. So that's a good start. And we've got, you know, starting today, we have 8 straight within our division. So it's big.
It's huge. And it's not so much the message there as to, hey, guys, these are all divisional games. We got 8 games in 7 days. Let's hunker down here. It's not that. It's not just that it's the division. That's not just what stood out to me about that cut. The fact that he downplayed beating the Dodgers is what I love. The fact that it also happened before he took over, obviously, as a Phillies manager. Yeah, we beat the Dodgers, but they were kind of struggling at the time. We took care of business, but they weren't the strongest opponent. I love that. That gives me joy to just hear that. But they went, yeah, it was the Dodgers. But hey, anytime you take 3 or 4 from the Dodgers, I throw a party. But right now, I just love the idea of that was then, and they weren't playing their best baseball. We got them at a good time. Then they came here and took care of business against us. Doesn't mention that, though. Now is the time that's going to matter down the line this season. Now is the time. 8 games in 7 days, all against NL East opponents. Again, it's only 2 of them, but they're 2 opponents in the next 8 days that you should take care of business against. Like, I was thinking about this for our Versus Game sponsor. I wanted to ask something along the lines of, you know, will the Phillies at least go over 500 in their next 8 games? And like the way the time period worked on it, it just wasn't going to work out for me to ask the question. But I'm thinking to myself, they got to win at least 5 of these games. They need to win 6. Like, I want to be blown away by the end of this week. By Sunday night, I want to be looking at the record, and I go, oh, damn, wow, they swept the Marlins? They took 3 of 5 from the Nationals? Like, the team that I feel like they should underperform against is always the Marlins. But after last night's performance, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. After the last 11 games, I'm feeling a little bit more confident that maybe they'll ride some momentum in this series at least. Then they got to go on the road for the 5 games against the Nationals. The next 8 games, how many games do you expect them to win? They won last night, so that's 1 in your pocket. They're going to win the next 7 straight. They're going to put together a nice long winning streak here as well. Oh, that'd be something. All of a sudden, you're looking up in the standings going, oh, wow, look at those standings. The Phillies all of a sudden 8 games over 500. What? Yeah, I'd love to see it. How many games do you think this Phillies team could win? I think, realistically speaking, without being too much of a homer, I feel like this Phillies team is going to win 6 games of their next 8. I don't see them losing more than 2 games. I feel like they have 1,000 times different mindset than what they had. I feel like Joe Girardi's Phillies would underperform. That's how, in all honesty, how I feel. And that's not so much a rip on Joe Girardi, even though it really sounds like it is, as much as it is the players, just like I said, taking ownership for what they have done so far this season and being in more control, I think, of the outcome of these games without a manager tinkering nearly as much. So for me, I look at this and I say, no reason the Phillies can't go 6-2 in the next 8 games. Now 7. They got 1 in their back pocket. So right now, can they win 5 more games of their next 7? I got confidence that this team can do it.